What's up? What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Gonna do a live stream in the afternoon today. Little break from work during lunch. Instead of eating lunch, I thought I'd talk some boxing with subscribers. If you guys are able to get in, it's a big month for heavyweights, of course, with Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz fighting this weekend, and in a couple weeks after that, I think it might be the 24th. Hey, Carl Burrell, what's good, man? Just trying to have a conversation over lunchtime, man. Ty Legacy. Hey, man, what's good? Hey, I like having you on private message, Ty, man. Hey, Untold Legacy and Notification Gang. Yeah, it's funny. Cool, what's good, Black Ham TV? Thank you guys for hitting the subscription, the bell icon if you've done it, man, because it's good to know people can, check it out when it happens, man, because I'm real, all over the place about when I have it, man. I should probably start trying to schedule them, but it's kind of tough to do them, man. Melvin Jackson says Wilder was amazing on First Take. I haven't had a chance to check it out. I guess I'll have to. If you could describe what happened, that'd be cool. I haven't had a chance to see it. I hadn't had a chance to see it yet. I did listen to Oscar De La Hoya, though. I don't know if you guys saw Oscar De La Hoya on TMZ. That was crazy. He was drunk as a skunk, man, or something. Hey, King Damien, what's good, my man? Life's good over here. Just talking a little boxing over lunchtime. Hey, Manuel Iglesias, what's good, my man? Also, Emmanuel Iglesias, I think Emmanuel. I owe you that email address because you said that you'd be able to send some of that equipment. I had that on my notes, man, but I hadn't got around to that. But what's good, Emmanuel? Thanks for checking in. Nishawn Turner, he says EJ is the future, nobody can beat him. Okay, cool. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. Cool, Emmanuel Iglesias. I'll definitely get that, man. Forgive me, man. I've been really behind on that. But yeah, man, I don't know the Wilder conference. Cool. I'll check it out afterwards and might do a report on that. Carl Burrell says I got Wilder by Savage K round 4 KO. It's gonna be. I'm scared. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But before I go, man, I was thinking about doing a video about it, but I'm like, nah, I won't. But Oscar De La Hoya went in on number 45 and talked about and talked about how he wasn't going to give him ringside seats and going to sit him up in the rafters because of his policies on Mexican Americans. But it was clear that the dude was completely. I don't know. I hope that was alcohol he was on. The dude looked zooted. Hey, 1-2, life's good over here. What's good with you, my lady? I've been watching a lot of Games of Thrones, so I'm reading the book. So I'm using the my lady. King Damien, Ortiz ain't going to be easy. I agree. I don't get. Maybe it's just me, man. I don't see why people think this is just going to be some blowout. It's going to be real tough. King Damien's chilling. Good to see you chilling. Chilling here too, having a good conversation over lunchtime. I want to do a live stream start doing a live stream a day, pretty much like 2 videos, straight up videos, and the other one be a live stream. So you guys got any questions about any of the videos that I did, let me know, because then I can just speak to you and I don't, I can make sure I don't miss any questions you might have had on the videos. But Tyler is Fanon, don't be shy though, because I can yap the ear off an elephant. Gotta catch myself. No time. Hey, Ty Legacy, man, I have no issues with that whatsoever. Leave the messages as long as you want, dog. I'll read them. If I can't get to them that second, I get to them 10 minutes later. It's all good, man. You know you're boxing, man, and it's good. It's good to have those conversations, man. So no worries, man. And anybody else, 1-2, you guys want to send me private connections and send me personal messages? The whole purpose of my channel here, man, is to try to, create a community of boxing fans that are mature, number one, and are willing to, have conversations with each other. And it's, private messaging works, live streams work, comments in the comment section work. This is all kind of different ways to have good conversations. Melvin Jackson says, Fanon, you and Blood, that was good. Hey, that was a lot of fun. And he's one of my favorite channels, and he comes with it true, man. He tells the truth as he sees it. And, you gotta applaud him for that, man. And fortunately for me, I agree with him most of the time. So it's kind of easy. How do you contact me? 1-2. Oh, because if you ever want to do a video 1-2, man, we can do it. Here you go. That's my email. 1-2. And also, there's a function if on YouTube where you can send, like, you can try to connect through YouTube. So on your YouTube account, you can connect with me on your YouTube account, and I can accept. I've got KO. I'm connected with KO. I'm connected with Corey, Lee Boxing, and Ty Legacy on that. I sometimes get confusing about how you do that, like actually do the connections. But yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. Yes, my lady, for sure. Connect, man. If you ever want to do a live stream, I'm sure people, live stream or, just a solo video, that people would love to hear what you think and get a chance to hear your voice. Dana Jones says, I'm ready to start camp for Errol Spence fight. Yeah, I am too, man. I'm ready to make that hot. It's going to be interesting to see who he fights. Know that that's going to a purse bid. I'm hoping that I'm correct that it's, that it's going to happen and that they're trying to get the money straight. But, the boxing clinic and more made a good point about, it might be that Carlos Ocampo really doesn't want the fight. So I hope that can happen. Ice Life 101. What up, Fanon? What's good, Ice Life 101? And if anybody that hasn't had an opportunity to subscribe or hit the bell icon, please do. Because these conversations, I'm trying to do them daily, but I do them throughout the day at different times. So, I want to make sure you guys can get on it and get the notifications when they actually, come up. But, hey, what's good, Ice Life 101? King Damien, who you got? Lara versus Heard. Funny enough, man, I'm going to go with my first original thought was that I was going to go with Lara, but I'm thinking maybe I might go with Jared Heard because Lara is getting a little long in the tooth. I think Jared Heard is a little bit a better boxer than I gave him to begin with, and he's really going to attack and go after Lara. So, quite honestly, man, I'm thinking I might go with Heard. Thinking I might go with Heard being able to pull it off, man. But he's going to need a knock. He's going to need a knockout to get Lara. But, Lara, maybe that's just wishful thinking, man. But a week ago, I was with Lara. Right now, I'm thinking maybe Heard, and that might change again by the time the bout comes around. Manuel Iglesias, who do you think Eddie Hearn will give excuses for? How do you think Eddie Hearn will give excuses for Wilder's win over Ortiz? Well, first of all, it's got to happen. But if that happens, he's basically going to say that the guy he's already done things in his last few interviews where he started to devalue the win ahead of time by predicting that Deontay Wilder should knock him out in 3 or 4 rounds, but maybe 4 or 5 rounds, under 5 rounds, something like that. And if he doesn't do so, then it'll happen because Deontay Wilder's being sloppy. So if it goes 10 rounds, then he'll say, well, Deontay Wilder should have got him out of there in 4 and 5. So, he's not popular. And, Dillian White, we're trying to surround him with Dillian White and get Dillian White to be the number 1 contender for the WBC. I mean, I think in the best of worlds for Eddie Hearn, Deontay Wilder would get forced into a fight with Dillian White, and Dillian White somehow could win that fight. Then Dillian White would have the WBC, and then he could unify with Anthony Joshua. Just like similarly, I know that I believe that Luis Ortiz was signed by Matchroom Boxing, as a way to get him and divert him away from Anthony Joshua. I mean, Anthony Joshua right now he's a bit of an institution, and when you got these fans that are just willing to, like in the words of Ludabella said, Ludabella said that he could sell out against Bozo the Clown. He could do 60,000 against Bozo the Clown. And so my thoughts are that he's going to try to keep putting him in there with Bozo the Clown and keep making paydays. I've been saying it's an 8-fight plan that he has for Anthony Joshua. And Luis Ortiz wasn't part of it, and neither is Deontay Wilder. And so he'll keep making, and as long as people in the UK allow it, he'll keep doing it. So that's what I think. So he'll make that excuse, but at the end of the day, you see what he's trying to do is he's going to have him come to New York and fight against Gerald Miller and introduced him to Jarrell Miller. Was Jarrell Miller, right? And Jarrell Miller couldn't punch his way out of a brown paper bag, from what I can see. Big dude, but I'm not that impressed with him. So that'll be the introduction to the U.S. for Anthony Joshua, and I don't care what anybody from the U.K. says, because I keep getting questions from guys that ask questions like this, and I'm gonna go off a little bit, and I'll get to the comment section in a second. Let me take a sip of. Actually, this is coffee. They say, well, who would you rather sell out? What would you rather do? Let me ask you this question. Which would you rather have? Would you rather sell out a 19,000 seat stadium or an 80,000 seat stadium? Your turn now. Go. As if this was some hard question to debate. First of all, it depends on two things. It depends on what arena you're talking about and what the ticket prices are. Easy. Because Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin just did $27 million on 17,000 people in the T-Mobile Arena. And Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko did 8 million pounds, which is about $13 million, on 90,000 in Wembley Stadium. So which would I rather have? I take the $27 million over there at T-Mobile Arena over the $13 million that you get in Wembley Stadium with 90,000. Not difficult. It's not difficult. I would definitely do that. So Anthony Joshua, I do believe, and I'm going to give Anthony Joshua a lot of credit. I think Anthony Joshua I like him a lot. He seems to be, I don't know how charismatic he is. He's polite, right? I'm not going to put him up there with Muhammad Ali as far as charisma goes, but he's polite. He's presentable. He seems as if he's courteous and a respectful person, and somebody that if you hear him talk, there's no reason not to like him. You know what I mean? So if he's successful, and if Anthony Joshua can become the face of the heavyweight division, and hence become the face, and at a point become the face of boxing, then having him in, a bunch of world travelers go to see Anthony Joshua in Vegas, right? You have high rollers come in from Dubai, from the UK, from all around the world to go to Vegas, and you can do that 27 million, or God forbid, it's something like Conor McGregor did, where, what did Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather do off 17,000? Something like 54 million gate, right? 54 million gate. That's what, 40 million pounds, somewhere around there. You cannot tell me that Eddie Hearn does not see that. But so if you listen to what he said in an article that came out today, where Eddie Hearn was basically wondering why in the world Deontay Wilder would take a fight with Luis Ortiz versus Dillian White when he got offered so much more money to fight Dillian White. And it just shows you that Eddie Hearn doesn't care about the quality of the fight. He cares about the quality of the receipts. And that's fair enough. It is what it is. Money it's a business, and I understand that. But he's not looking for to put Anthony Joshua in a situation where, he can lose. And I would say that's similar to what Bob Arum is doing with Vasily Lomachenko, and what I believe that Oscar De La Hoya has done, but not so blatantly. Oscar De La Hoya, I do believe, does that with Canelo Alvarez as well, but not nearly as blatantly as Top Rank does with Lomachenko, or what Anthony Joshua, I think that Eddie Hearn's going to do with Anthony Joshua. So, in the end of the day, man, I do believe absolutely that it doesn't even matter what excuse he comes with. He's just not going to do it, because the fans, the 60,000, 70,000 fans, whoever it is in the UK that are going to support him there, aren't going to, they apparently don't care. They're okay with, they'll come to you with a straight face and tell you why Carlos Takam was a good fight, but Deontay Wilder doesn't deserve a fight, right? Anyway, man, sorry. Manuel Glacius, how do you think Eddie Hearn will give excuses for Wilder's win over Ortiz? Right, that is. But as far as he'll be old, and he will have not knocked him out soon enough, or the fight wouldn't have been good. Whatever, he'll say whatever he got to say out of one side of his neck. What he'll say probably will depend on what time of day you ask him. Fanon, excuse me. Hey, I got Moni Brown TV in the house, man. What's good, Moni Brown? Fanon, some of these fans, this is Ty Legacy. Fanon, some of these fans are more interested in how a fighter solidifies their bank account more than them solidifying their positions in boxing. Rather be clicking on a calculator instead of watching a bout. Hey, I like clicking on calculators with the best of them, but you were absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Fanon, I'm rocking with AJ. I think he's very charismatic. That's fair enough. Cool. As long as you as long as you are rocking with him in a fight that happens. I have no problem with anybody rocking with him. I mean, Anthony Joshua, I was with him at Klitschko. I was rocking with Anthony Joshua in the Klitschko fight. I absolutely was. So I can appreciate that. But at the same time, man, I want to see the dude get in the ring, man, with some guy, with Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder gets past Luis Ortiz, which is not a given. Dude, let me see. I'm going to go to the end and then work backwards and say, so I get, hey, Moni Brown, see, I'm a fan of your knowledge, bro. I hope that's what you're talking to me. If you're talking to me, thanks, man. Moni Brown, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the compliment. Political act. What's happening, political act? I think Parker actually has had the worst skill set of those five. Okay, Ortiz is the best counterpuncher, slight footwork. Joshua, best defense, dodging with head movement. Wilder, best offensive combos and strikes. Okay, I'm sorry. That was in the middle of you guys' conversation. I'm going to go back and look for a little bit of a Fanon in there. But on the real, I had a subscribe. I don't know if it's I doubt very much it is a subscriber. I doubted very much it was a subscriber that asked me, said, you don't support Anthony Joshua. Because I always will say, hey, I like Anthony Joshua. I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua. But they'll say, well, you tear down the win of Joshua and, all of that type of stuff. And I just kind of like, hey, I mean, I don't know what you mean by support, right? You want me to pick him up and put him on my shoulders? All I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Anthony Joshua was in a position before he had fought Deontay Wilder, where he was fighting guys who before he fought Vladimir Klitschko, where he was a very solid fighter. He had knocked out everybody he's been in the ring with. He was an Olympic gold medalist. And you had Deontay Wilder over in the United States saying, I don't want to fight him because, he's not making enough money over there in the UK. But clearly, Anthony Joshua was one of the top 2 or 3 heavyweights. I would be looking at Deontay Wilder saying the same thing. I mean, I can't support arguments that are being made for Anthony Joshua and then see it on somebody else and not do the same for them. And that's where I kind of think that fans for Anthony Joshua are you're helping Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua is going to be in a situation, if he chooses to, where he never has to fight anybody and he can make a bunch of money. It's a rare occasion for Anthony Joshua for a British heavyweight or a British fighter, period, is from what I can see, to be in a situation where in order to earn 8 million, 10, 13 million pounds or whatever that is in the dollars, that they don't have to leave the UK. I mean, that's a unique position. And I don't besmirch him being in that position. Good job, man. Great job on Eddie Hearn and, giving him the promotion necessary to be that. But at the end of the day, at the same time, hey, man, I don't care how popular you are. I don't know if you can beat Deontay Wilder. And neither does these people talking about Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight ever. You don't know if he can beat Deontay Wilder. I guarantee you do not know because you haven't seen the fight. I know for sure that Errol Spence Jr. can beat Kell Brook because I saw Kell Brook on a knee, right, getting hugged when it swole eye. That's how I know because I saw it. You suspect that Anthony Joshua can beat that he can beat Deontay Wilder. You suspect that. But I want to see validation. I want to see it actually happen. And if it happens, my hats off. Hats off to him. And I'm not gonna be upset 5 minutes. Because the best man won. Maybe 5 minutes. But not much longer than that. Let me see. Fanon, AJ wants comparison fights to see where he's at, but it won't matter with Wilder's mindset. Yeah, hey, we gotta see, dude. We gotta see. What's dark voyeurism? Actually, man, you know what? I've seen you before, dark voyeurism on a chat. Before. I definitely love the way that you put those pictures up on your channel, dog. But I don't know what you're talking about. A lie. What is a lie? Who are you saying is lying, man? Hey, Manuel gets what's up? Yeah, I'm looking for this. It's a lie from because I want to pay respect to the dude. I've seen him on other streams. What's a lie, man? You're gonna put it at the end. I'm gonna look for that. Whatever you're talking about, what's a lie? Oh, nobody says AJ is the best heavyweight ever. Watch this. That's a lie. So if I can tell you that somebody has said that, I'm not lying, right? Are you telling me nobody has ever said that? Have you taken a poll of every motherfucker who's ever said something about Anthony Joshua? You know for sure nobody's ever said that, man? You do not. You're speaking in a, what do you call it? You're speaking in ultimates. You're saying nobody ever said that. Yes, somebody has said that. Matter of fact, they've said it on this live stream. I can go back. They've said it on chats that I've had. Yes, they have. Just like people have said Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the best ever, and people have said that Muhammad Ali is the best ever. I'm not going to tell you who. So remember their name, dude? Come on, man. You're trying to tell me nobody has ever said it. You prove to me that nobody has ever said that. Ever. Do you know that to be true? You do not. So therefore, you can't call me a liar and be serious about it. Hey, guess what? 68, Mayweather said he's the best ever. Cool, that's somebody that said it. You think Mayweather's the only person to have ever said that, man? You think he's the only person to ever say that? I guarantee you can do a Floyd Mayweather video and say that he's not. I'm not going to block that dude. You prove somebody did. Of course. Man, look, voyeurism, you got to go, dog. Well, no, you stick around. I'm not going to boot you for that because you've not been disrespectful. But real, I've heard people say it, man. If you think I'm lying, I don't give a fuck, dude. Kick rocks, dog. Why would I prove a fan did? Prove it to who? To you? What do I care what you think, man? You don't believe me? You don't believe me, dog. You don't believe me? You don't believe me. I don't have to prove anything to you, man. You prove that he didn't. You're the one that's calling me a liar. You prove me that nobody else has said that before. How about that? You're the one that made the accusation that I'm lying. You go prove that nobody has ever said that before. I'm going to run on him for a second, dog, because that's some bunk. And I've actually seen you on chart. Yeah, dude, you call me a liar. You call me a liar, right? You said that you asked me to prove that somebody's ever said it. I'm telling you, you prove that nobody ever has, since you want to call me a liar. You can't prove that, man. So it is what it is. Yeah. And if you get on my channel, call me a liar, yeah, I'll get upset about it because it's being disrespectful. I know you have a channel. I've heard you on live streams. I've never disrespected you. So don't jump up on here disrespecting me because I know who you are. Untold Legacy. I just argued with someone who said that Floyd was the best ever because of his streak. And I was like, Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Duran. Yeah, man, people got opinions about who the best ever is, man. Moni Brown TV. Fanon, I had fans bash me saying AJ is the greatest heavyweight ever plenty of times. And they said AJ is better than Mayweather already. Of course you did, man. Any channel that has made a video about Anthony Joshua where you said that he needs to fight Deontay Wilder or something like that, has had some troll from the UK jump on their channel and call him and say Anthony Joshua is the greatest fighter ever. Because there's plenty of idiots in the world. And yeah, man, if you jump on me, because I'm going to tell you, man, the same dude's probably still listening. I'm a grown man, dude. I'm a grown man. And I've had people, anytime, if you're going to call me a liar, then the burden of proof is on you to prove I'm lying. It doesn't go the other way where you get to accuse me of something and tell me I got to prove that you're wrong. That ain't how it works, man. Go be disrespectful somewhere else. Sanctus Decor. AJ isn't even the best UK heavyweight ever. Them goofs need to... Seriously. Dude, he's not the best. He's not proven that he's the best heavyweight now in the UK. He's got Tyson Fury's belts. He's got Tyson Fury's belts. He's not the best heavyweight in the UK as we speak. The WBA, the WBO, and the IBF belts are Tyson Fury's. He beat, that's what it is. Prove that he's the best heavyweight in the UK. And even before there would be a fight with Deontay Wilder, fight Tyson Fury. Straight up. Hey, what's good, man? Oh, man, B-Slap, what's good, my man? Phenomenal. He said, what's up, man? All snowed up in Eastern Europe. Man, I just had a meeting with somebody out in Serbia, man. We trying to import something from Serbia, some cleaning fluid. And I'm like, ugh, crazy situation, man. I've never handled before, but it's fun, man. And, you know, I always love having conversations with the Serbians, man. And hopefully one day I'll be able to get out there. And, man, I think they're in Belgrade or New Belgrade. Really good people, man. But that time thing is just ridiculous. Hey, Dion Washington says, I can start a small dictatorship in Tuscaloosa, Alabama with $6 million. Dog, you saw that, Dion? Dog, I'm telling you, man. Dude, I'm telling you, that is absolutely crazy that people do not understand how much money $1 million is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You can buy a mansion for $200. You live in for $500,000. You living in a mega mansion for $500,000 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, dog. You can buy several acres, dude, and put up a 5,000-6,000 square foot house for $500,000 and never have to pay a mortgage on that, man. Come on, man. That dude's got that. Is just, it is what it is, man. Anyway. Oh, my God, man. That dude is funny, man. I knew that dude was going to come over here at one point in time. That's some banana stuff, man. Hey, but by the way, 68 Dark, whatever, I love those women on your avatars. Love them. Gorgeous. Other than that, dog, don't come over here with that nonsense, man. I'm not a kid. Ty Legacy, Fanon, half these channels out here are new because of the bandwagon hot, picking up the phone and the calculator, uploading videos, being experts. Point Dexter. Hey, Ty Legacy, you going hard on people, man. HHH, 112, what's good? An example, 68 Dark, of a cat that I would disagree with about Deontay Wilder and never is disrespectful, man. Never tries to drag down the conversation by calling people dishonest. Haven't you seen the video where a black guy was beaten to death by the Serbians in Greece? Oh, I don't doubt it happened, dog. But let me be real clear when I say that. The people that I go to is they're a bunch of women, and they work for the company that I go to, so I don't really have to deal with a lot of I wouldn't have to deal with all that, but I know that stuff is out there for sure. No doubt about it. You know, but that stuff has happened, you know, where I live. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened next week downtown. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, Trex, when I already threw it out, he might be still listening. No, man, he know he is, man. It's bananas. I don't even. That stuff is like, come on, man. There's one thing here, man. You can disagree with somebody, But that type of nonsense, man, come on. Serbs have a reputation of fighters. Of starting to throw hands. Fanon, okay, yeah. Okay, I stay in Tuscaloosa. I know I can live like a king here on a $150,000 salary. You make God, man. Tuscaloosa, Alabama on that. He's making, because he gets what? He's got the $4.5 million that is an escrow that he should be getting soon from Alexander Povetkin popping dirty. And he's going to get at least $1.25 million for going with, for fighting Luis Ortiz. So, and he got, what, $900,000? Well, anyway, just those two, that's $6 million. That's like $14 million. That's $13 million in New York City, man. That dude, he can afford it. If he's not stupid with his money, he can afford to say, to turn down $4 million paydays, man, because he's never going to spend all that money. If he's got his sense, and he knows that if he stays where he is, eventually, if he's able to get Luis Ortiz, and this is the big thing for me on this Luis Ortiz, this is a watershed moment, in my opinion, for Deontay Wilder. Because if he can get past Luis Ortiz, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's nobody else that can prevent him from just going on a streak and being there. And the conversation is not going to go away. As long as Anthony Joshua is winning and Anthony Joshua is getting this publicity, Deontay Wilder is going, as long as he gets past Luis Ortiz, he'll still be there in the conversation whenever Anthony Joshua's next opponent is mentioned, and that conversation will continue to grow and grow. And there's no getting out of it, man. That's a beautiful thing about boxing, man. You cannot duck and dodge forever. At a certain point in time, you gotta make the fight, or tide will turn. And you're talking about the UK as well, where they are real boxing fans. I'm not talking about people that want to get on your page and talk all that yap, right? Disrespect you, call you a liar for giving your opinion. And then, God, hey, man, I'm a lawyer, man. Y'all don't know, man. So let me tell you why that irritated me. All right. You know that if you get arrested and somebody says, look, I think you did this, you don't have any duty whatsoever to prove to them that you didn't do it. They have the burden of proof to prove that you did. It doesn't work the other way. In the court of public opinion, people try to make it like that, where you can just say anything, pull anything out your backside and throw it at them, and all of a sudden they got to look around and say, hold on, no, I didn't. No, prove I did. Prove that nobody ever said that. And they think you stupid enough to fall for it, man. Or these other things that these cats do who are Joshua fans. They put out these straw men, right? Arguments that nobody ever made, and then start debating them. Like, Deontay Wilder's not popular, and Deontay Wilder can't sell out. He can't sell out the Barclays system, the Barclays Center. So hold on, man. I never said any of that, and I don't care. I just want to see. I think Deontay Wilder's a WBC champion. I want to see him fight Anthony Joshua, who's the WBC champion, who's the WBA and the IBF champion. That's what I want to see. I never mentioned anything about popularity. So why am I having all these conversations about popularity? Yeah, Deontay Wilder says something about popularity, but I'm not Deontay Wilder. So do I care? I don't care what Deontay Wilder has to say. Deontay Wilder can talk, from now to the end of the year and say whatever he wants. I'm not Deontay Wilder. I don't care what Deontay Wilder had to say. I care that Deontay Wilder gets in the ring and fights people. That's what I care about. And I'm a boxing fan. I don't have to defend what Deontay Wilder said. I don't got to defend whether or not Deontay wants a 50-50 split or a 70-30 split or a 90-10 split. What do I care how much money he gets? How does that affect me turning on my TV and watching him fight? I don't negotiate his purse, so what do I care? And what do you care? Why are you talking to me about, those are straw man arguments. I don't care what you think about that crap. I don't care how much Deontay Wilder makes. For the hell of it, I'm doing a video, so I'll be like, all right, let me just, because I see how this stuff is working, let me just lay out an argument so other people who get this crap thrown at them might be able to take that argument and just get rid of people. Deontay Wilder's a multi-millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. That's a fact. He's a multi-millionaire. He's had multiple fights where he's earned over $1 million. He's had 7 championship fights, and he lives in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He's a rich man. He's also known by people. He's had multiple times where 1 million people or more have watched his fights. For 4 or 5 fights. He's a headliner in New York City at the Barclays Center. You can go to Showtime and turn your TV on and see Showtime, and there's going to be commercials on the TV with his face on there. People know who Deontay Wilder is. Stop acting like they don't. They do. It's not like I'm talking about what's that guy, Yona, what's the 6'7" heavyweight in France who's 3-0? It's not like I'm talking about Daniel Dubois. It's not like I'm talking about Joe Joyce. And then you hear people who are never been in the United States in their life, or maybe they've been here, but I suspect many of them haven't, telling people in the United States who know who Deontay Wilder is that nobody in the United States knows who Deontay Wilder is. It's ridiculous. Those are straw men, stupid arguments that just need to go away. Because at the end of the day, I want to see the guy fight. And if Deontay Wilder loses to Anthony Joshua, I'm going to clap my hands and say, good fight. Good fight. If it's a good fight, I want to see a rematch. I'm not going to say, after the fight's over, I'm not going to wait around to get a call from Anthony Joshua's accountant and tell me, hey, did the money get deposited yet? Because, the fight happened last week, but I need to know if the money got deposited yet, because I'm his accountant. What kind of crap is that, man? And that is not just Anthony Joshua's fault, but that's kind of like related to Floyd Mayweather. And the fact, like when he says, and this is no disrespect to Floyd Mayweather, but I'll say it on the American side, I'll say it on the UK side. What that argument is with Anthony Joshua is you're just taking what the Floyd Mayweather Jr. argument and putting it on him. Because Floyd Mayweather would say, I'm the best ever because I've made more money than anybody else. Look at Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, sold his name. He didn't own the right to his name. Look at all the money I have. I made $500 million as a boxer, and therefore I'm the best ever. And that's the argument that he's making, right? So what you're doing is, and I have a suspicion that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was popular with these same little kiddies that are buying this bullshit argument that they're kicking. Is they're taking that argument and dropping it on Anthony Joshua. I reject that argument for Floyd Mayweather Jr. and I reject it for Anthony Joshua because it doesn't matter. You're not fighting with piles of money wrapped around your fist. You're fighting with gloves. And you can't tell me just because you can make Adrian Bronner makes more money than Marcos Maidana. It didn't keep Marcos Maidana from whooping his ass, did it? Adrian Bronner made more money than Sean Porter. Didn't keep Sean Porter from whooping his ass, did it? Prince Nassim Ahmed made more money than Marco Antonio Barrera and didn't keep his ass from getting turned over and flipped into retirement, did it? It ain't about the money, man. And people keep making that crap excuse. You're just deluding yourself. And honestly, it's going to be a point in time before you get let down. Because there's only been one heavyweight, one heavyweight champion that I can think of that has retired without getting their ass beat up at some point in time. And that's Rocky Marciano. Everybody else has hit the deck. Mike Tyson got stopped. Evander Holyfield got beat. Lennox Lewis got beat. Riddick Bowe got beat. Muhammad Ali got beat. Joe Frazier got beat. George Foreman got beat. Why you think you think that Anthony Joshua is going to avoid that his whole career? More than likely not. So when it catches up to him, what you going to do then? You're going to say, well, he was nothing, he was nothing because he lost. Of course not. He's a good fighter, man. But don't get carried away with all that crap, man. And definitely if you're a fan of boxing, don't get carried away with that crap to the detriment of other boxers. Because Deontay Wilder is a good heavyweight. He is a good fighter. And HHH 1200, we can disagree about that. And you guys can say bum squat all you want. But I tell you this, come on, man. This dude, name another heavyweight champion, has knocked out 39 people, man. You knocked out 39 professional boxers, dude. This cat can do something in the ring. That just, to say that he can't is just flies in the face of logic. You know what I mean? That just flies in the face of logic. But anyway, sorry about that. Rant time. Mayweather quote, low risk, high reward. Yeah, that's pretty much Mayweather's on that. Yeah, Low Place. Yeah, y'all go live. Hey, what's good, Low Place? Low Place. No one ever told me Joshua would win because he made more money. You should give a listen to wiser people if you're hearing that. Hey, dude, I don't have to give a listen to wiser people. I've listened to plenty of wise people. And I can listen to a wise person and hear it, and I can listen to an idiot. I can do both of those. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, come on, man. All right. Oh, that's why it's called prize fighting. Yeah, you guys are Floyd Mayweather fans, man. All right. Whatever. Okay, cool for you. Hey, enjoy it, dog. Enjoy it. Hey, Fanon, I finished watching your stream with Blood Boxing. Great conversation. Cool, Scholar Boxing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Hey, yeah, Tony Yoka. That's Tony Yoka. Hey, Let me see. Political act. Blood said it was perfect. It's perfect. People treating boxing like a once-a-year job or some ish. Fight get the check, chill out. UFC is kind of turning into that, but not as much as the division with Conor McGregor. Hey, political act. I'm not really up on the UFC like that. But let me get some more Fanons in here to answer these questions. Money Brown TV. Fanon, you make your points with your hands. I can hear you thumping on the table. Sorry about that, man. It's just ridiculous, dude. It's just a ridiculous conversation, in my opinion. I mean, you know, and here again, I'll say it's my opinion. These aren't facts. These are opinion. If you think that, you know, how much money you make is the most important thing in the fighters that you support, that's your opinion. And you're welcome to your opinion. My opinion is I want to support fighters that fight in the ring. And I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. Period. I want to see the fight. It can be against whoever. Some of the best fights that I've seen are against guys that don't make very much money. I saw Robert Guerrero versus Omar Figueroa. It was one of the best fights last year. I guarantee neither one of those guys got it. I doubt very much if either one of those guys got $1 million. I don't know how much money they made, and I don't care. But it was a very fun fight to watch. And I'm glad it happened. And I'm glad I didn't have to hear a bunch of people telling me why Omar Figueroa didn't deserve the shot because he ain't beat nobody. That's my opinion. There are things that are subjective and things that are objective. The objective things are somebody won the fight, somebody lost the fight. On the judge's scorecard. You can be subjective and say whether you agree with the scorecard or not, whatever. That's fine. But at the end of the day, what's on that scorecard, unless it gets overturned, is the objective fact. All the conversation that goes on beforehand about who's going to win and who isn't going to win, that's all subjective. That's all opinion. I think Deontay Wilder is going to beat Luis Ortiz. You think Luis Ortiz is going to beat Deontay Wilder. Those are subjective. That's subjective until it actually happens. Somebody thinks Deontay Wilder's a bum. Other person thinks Anthony Joshua is a great fighter. Those are subjective determinations. You're never going to know who's going to win until they get in the ring. And that's what in my opinion, I think is the most important in boxing. I think all that other stuff is fun. I love talking about promoters. I'll talk about them. I'll do videos about them. I don't mind having conversations about how much money somebody made or didn't make. Okay, that's fun too, because I have fun doing net present value calculations. I enjoy doing cost of living adjustments, all of that type of stuff, because it's fun. And when the promoters talk about it to sell the fight, I understand that creates an overall environment where the fight's exciting and people are looking forward to it. All that's cool. But none of it's worth anything if the two guys don't get in the ring. It's a bunch of flapping of the lips unless somebody gets in the ring. It'll be like, who could have won between Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe? I think Lennox Lewis. Somebody else thinks Riddick Bowe. But guess what? We'll never know because it never happened. You might as well be talking about who's going to win, Anthony Joshua or Jack Johnson, if the fight doesn't happen. Because the only way you ever know is if it actually happens. And all that other bop, 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 in my opinion, is just a bunch of lip flapping. Oh, yeah. Nishan Turner. I don't think I've seen you here before, man. Yeah, I have. What's good, my man? Danny Cherry picking Garcia. Sean Porter and Keith Runtime Thurman are ducking that Spence fade. Hey, man, I'm kind of going with you on. I'm going to go with what's my man Andre Ward said. If it's that way in 6 or 7 months, I'm going to have to believe that that's true. Go about 6 or 7 months, and I think that's about true. I'm going to give. I think Keith Thurman definitely deserves to get that tune-up in and, to see if it can happen. I just don't like the way he talks about it, man. You know what I mean? Untold legacy, man. Exactly, man. You never know until you put the gloves on. No one thought Buster Douglas was going to sleep Mike Tyson. No one. And Tyson got knocked smooth the F out. Pretty much. Oh, my bad, Trey X. Fanon, can you answer the question I've been asking? Yeah, sure. Let me roll back, man. Okay. I see. Trey, Fanon. How would boxing be if Mayweather Jr. never happened? Honestly, man, I think that it would be this. I think that it might be the same, because I think a lot of dynamics in boxing. I think it'd be the same, and I think it probably would have been somebody other than Floyd Mayweather Jr. It might not have been somebody Floyd Mayweather Jr. at that time, right? It might not be. Might not have been somebody. For Floyd Mayweather Jr. at that time. It might be somebody now that would have elevated to that, right? But it's always going to be somebody. There's always going to be a guy in boxing that is like head and shoulders above monetarily and notoriety wise than other fighters, and that's been at least since the time of Jack Johnson, where you had went from Jack Johnson to a bit of time went between them. You had that to Jack Dempsey. And then Jack Dempsey to Joe Louis. Then probably, I suspect, Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali. I'm not quite sure how popular Rocky Marciano was, but to Muhammad Ali. And then you go from Muhammad Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard, I think, was very big at the time, but I don't think he was as big as Mike Tyson. So probably Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson. And then Mike Tyson to Oscar De La Hoya. And then Oscar De La Hoya to Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I think that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. wasn't there, then what's going on right now would have happened earlier, where you have something which gets transitioned without, a quote unquote passing of the torch. So since Floyd Mayweather Jr. is still kind of, hanging on, his name is still there. There's a lot of buzz around him. A lot of the people who are very, very casual fans have their attention focused still on Floyd Mayweather, right? Until Floyd Mayweather, if Floyd Mayweather wasn't there, it might have been a little bit longer a time for somebody to have generated that on their own. And it very well might have been somebody like Anthony Joshua, because I do think that Anthony Joshua I know that he has promoters behind that, but he does have something that is kind of organic about it as well, because of where he's from and the support he has where he's from. He speaks English and he's in the heavyweight division. So, it could have just been that waited until Anthony Joshua was there. But one change I would hope, one thing I did not necessarily like about Floyd Mayweather Jr. once he got past Oscar De La Hoya, there's now a fascination with how much money somebody's making, as if that's the end game to boxing, where I don't think that I remember that being the case. When it was Mike Tyson in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I never remember a conversation, the preeminent conversation being how much money he made. Even though everybody knew he made a lot of money, right? It was whether or not he was the best fighter ever and he could beat this guy, beat that guy. And it always came around to him doing it in the ring, right? And that was kind of the big thing. And I don't remember anybody cutting breaks on, I don't think anybody would have cut Mike Tyson a break if he didn't fight Evander Holyfield, right? Or if he didn't if he didn't fight the best fights. But now with Floyd Mayweather Jr., it was just a lot of talk, a lot of people really kind of bought into what he was talking about as far as, his prize fighting, not pride fighting, and, anyway. But I think it still would have been there, man, because people in roles do what the role is. Anyway, that's the best answer I could give on that, man. I feel like I went on a little bit about that too much. Untold Legacy, Fanon, do you think that, hey, Trey X, thank you, man. I hope I answered that question for you, my man. Fanon, do you think that Mayweather is responsible for fighters and promoter putting such an emphasis on the O? It seems like people cherry pick and dodge more just to keep a record clean. I do think that that's a marketing point now, and I think that is that's a bad thing. I can't necessarily say if I'm going to put it on Floyd. Floyd's a special fighter, man. But I do think that it's more personality driven now than the actual fight, right? Where now it's like, but I think Floyd sold that, being undefeated. It's kind of, I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a lot to do with that now. However, if Floyd Mayweather Jr. had lost and then he started winning again, then I think that'll go away. But it's a sad development in boxing. I don't necessarily know if Floyd Mayweather Jr. is to blame for it, though. You know what I mean? I wouldn't blame him for it. I think he took advantage of it, and people are buying it, man. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to drink the Kool-Aid. That's boxing fans that are drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't think that because you lost, that means somehow that you're not a great fighter. Especially when all the great fighters have lost. And matter of fact, part of being a great champion is what do you do? How do you respond to defeat? Are you somebody like Marco Antonio Barrera who can lose to Junior Jones twice and then figure out what it is that how to change himself and make an adjustment and then rejuvenate your career? I think there's something to overcoming adversity and becoming a better fighter and losing, and also, having more than one fight. Because if you have, one of the things I think is really missing from boxing now, but to Floyd Mayweather's credit, he always did, was rematches. And the fact that, if you beat somebody and it was a close fight, do it again, even if you don't have a bunch of people crying about, a robbery or whatever. Ali Vosa says, money is messing up boxing at a lot of levels. Not enough people, money for kids to go to the gym, all the way up to prize fighting. It's tough in America because it's really expensive to do that. Scholar Boxing, Ray Robinson was 131-1 at one point in time in his career. Yeah, absolutely. And then he lost and he won. And I don't think that he's any less of a fighter or less remembered because he's had losses. You got to overcome adversity. Lennox Lewis is one of the greatest heavyweights that I've ever seen, and he got knocked out twice. But he got back in the ring with the guy that knocked him out, and he won. And that speaks volumes of him. Same thing for Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko has been knocked spark out twice. But he came back, and he showed grit, and he won. And there's a significant chance that that's going to happen to Anthony Joshua. There's a good chance that it would happen to Deontay Wilder. Because it's happened to great champions before. And it is going to happen again. Curtis Anderson says, Finale, Bivol versus Barrera, who wins? I think I got, I haven't seen enough of Bivol, but I go with Bivol at this point. Because I think he's got a lot of power. And I think he's a good solid fighter. And Barrera's been down a couple times. He was down against Joe Smith, but it's going to be a tough fight, man. You're asking me to say who I think is going to win. If I had a quarter, I would put it on Bivol, but that'd have to be a quarter I was willing to lose. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my take on that, man. Crucial YGN says, Fanon, let's be honest. If Crawford ran from Postal, he'll run from Spence faster. I don't know. I don't recall that fight, man. I'm getting old, so my memory isn't that sharp. I don't remember Crawford running from Postal. I thought he outboxed Postal and he won that fight. But hey, man, if you move and you can box, hey, man, move and box. He ain't supposed to just stand there and take him to the chin. You know, you got to do what he got to do to win the fight, man. And Crawford's a beast, man. Crawford's a beast. Yeah, Scholar. Bivol looked sharp last fight. That's my man, B Slap. Yeah. Let me go back and see if I got some Fanons. Oh, Manuel Iglesias. Fanon, who do you think Spence will fight first? Garcia, Thurman, Porter, or Crawford? How much longer do you think Spence will be at 147 until he moves up? If I had to bet between Garcia, Thurman, Porter, and Crawford, I think he would have the best shot at getting Garcia. I think Garcia would be the best. He would of all those guys, because I don't really think Porter wants it. I think Porter's mind is really set on Keith Thurman, and I think Keith Thurman is like, from the sound of it, man, he could be a year and a half, 2 out. And Crawford's boxed up by Top Rank. So if any of them, I'd have to guess that Garcia would come along first. And I think that Garcia would take that fight. I know Garcia has, taken some fights which were could be considered some soft touches, but I don't believe that, but he's also been willing to take risky fights. Right? He's taken the fight with Thurman. He took the fight with Khan. He took the fight with Lucas Matisse. So he's shown that he's willing to get in there with guys that are difficult and people that he's not expected to have beat, that he wasn't expected to beat. So I think Garcia has that in him. He does, in between those type of fights, take fights that, aren't necessarily the best. But I do think that I think he's willing to get in there, man. I think he's willing to get in there. Definitely, if you get a dude enough money, I think he's willing to get in there. So I would say Garcia. Now, who would be the most willing to do it if all things were equal? I think Crawford would be. My feeling is that Terence Crawford would get in there with him next week if he could. Like that's my thought on Terence Crawford. I see no hesitation and no fear in Terence Crawford. I think he'll get in there with anybody. I think he's the guy. Of all those guys there, he's the one that has the most faith in his ability, and he should have a lot of faith in his ability. And yeah, that I think is one of the biggest fights in boxing that can really happen. That I would like to happen. I just don't know if that can ever happen unless he gets away from, unless he can get away from Top Rank. Tunnel Vision, F9, 7 weeks out and zero promotion for Crawford's fight coming up. That man needs to leave Top Rank ASAP. Getting zero respect from that company. Yeah, without a doubt, dog. Curtis Anderson, have you ever heard of the Black Murderers Row? I have. Absolutely, I have. You asking me what it is right now, man. You got to get me changing my thought pattern. But yeah, dang. I'm pretty sure that was was that the heavyweight division? Was that the heavyweight division? I'm just going to look it up real quick. I'm going to cheat. I thought is that the heavyweight division back in the day? Yeah, I don't know, man. Remind me what that is, man. I thought that was like the Black Murderers Row was like a bunch of fighters the cats were avoiding. I think that was back in like the 50s or 40s. Yeah, man, forgive me, man. I'm slow on my boxing history today. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, Charlie Burley. Right. Exactly. Sorry, the middleweight division. Thank you. Thank you, boxing scholars. Oh, and by the way, man, this channel, just so while I have a second before I do, since there's no Fanons up here, man, I want to be real clear about the channel. Because people might have jumped on here thinking that this was like some type of free-for-all situation. It's not. There's a couple things we're trying to do on the channel. Number one, I'm too old to be arguing with cats and get disrespected. It's not worth it. It doesn't make it fun for me. So I'm not one of these cats that are going to play the dozens with you. If you have a point to make your point and be respectful. If you're not respectful, I'm going to put you out because it's just not fun. If I know who you are because you've got a different channel, I've heard you talk before and all that, man, I'll give you, because you're a content creator, and you put your work in like everybody else does. But I hear a lot of live streams where I listen and it's a bunch of arguing and shouting back and forth where people are all that doesn't make it fun for me. It doesn't make it fun for people in the comment section. And definitely if you're out here disrespecting, calling people liars or calling people, whatever, that's going to immediately get shut down on this channel. And on your channel, if you want to do that and engage in that type of conversation, man, have at it. But that's really not what it's about. I will put for people that if there are people in the chat of the video that start calling people the N-word or calling people, telling people that they're this, that, and the other thing, you got to go because you're not behaving in a mature fashion, in a respectful fashion. And that's just something that I insist on in a conversation where I don't have to have. Hey, call me sensitive if you want. I'll take it. I'm sensitive. Whatever. But just don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect people in the channel. Because I never will go to your channel disrespecting you. Cambril, Agene, hey, I feel like Thurman loses to Spence. Thurman beats Crawford and Spence loses to Crawford. Styles make fights. Thurman weak at the body but can fight. Crawford would take any fight. So will Spence. Agreed, my man. That's Cambril. I hope I pronounced that name right. Absolutely, dog. Absolutely. Trap House Boxing was good, my man. Life's good over here. Trap House, I did one with your boy Blood last night. I did one with your boy Blood last night. It was a blast. Gotta have you on the channel too, man. Do one of these, man. Camille, yeah, Fanon, keep up the go. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, sir. Untold Legacy. We are all adults. We should behave as such. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. And it makes it so much more fun. Like 1-2, for example. Me and 1-2 you'll see his name up here. One of the absolute favorite commenters on the channel. HHH1200. And I pretty much, whenever I see a comment in one of the videos, I always respond. We have conversations where we disagree. He thinks, I'll let him tell you what he thinks about Deontay Wilder. South on the rise, except, right? And that's his opinion. I can respect that opinion because it's an opinion. Just like I don't think he's a bum. And that's my opinion, right? But no point in time is it ever necessary to go in. No, it's never to go in there and act like somebody stole something from your mother because they don't agree with you, man. That's just, come on, man. I gave that up when I turned, 30? You know what I'm saying? Like at 30 years old, like, if you 30, 35 years old still carrying on like that, man, I mean, it's time to grow up. If you're 20 years old, I understand. If you're 20, 22 years old, I understand. You're like, okay, man, you're still a young dude. Pretty much you got out of high school like the week before last. Okay. Do you. You know what I'm saying? Do you. But no, man, at this point in time in life, man, I'm not involved in all that, man. I want to talk boxing. I want to see fights happening, man. Broderick said, Fanon, I love your brother to that Deontay Wilder hater in the UK. Great job. And as usual, always great conversation. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. It's just, come on, man. Oh, cool. TrapHouseBoxing@gmail.com. I don't even think I got to write that down. I think I'll remember that. Got it. For sure, man. We'll get it done. Justin E said, Fanon, I don't see it. Crawford showed himself on the scale weighing 175-ish. That don't mean you will compete as well at that weight. Agreed. I can go with that, man. No doubt about it. I can go with that, man. My man said, Sal Gutierrez said, and a daddy's boy. Oh, you got a son and he's a dad? Oh, I'm a dad and a daddy boy. Hey, I'm a daddy's boy. And that's what my daddy taught me. I'm trying to tell you. It's just like, man, people ain't trying to hear that. doing all that yap, man. Hey, Fanon, I appreciate the intelligence. Rashane McClarty, hey, I appreciate you thinking that. I appreciate that I can do that every blue moon, man. You know what I mean? King J Rod, Dra. Hope I pronounced that right. Say great stream last night. Cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed, man. Blood boxing. That was super fun to do with blood boxing. Oh, and by the way, if you guys, and I'm gonna put a little commercial in the middle of this. If you guys have hit the subscribe button, if you wouldn't mind, and the bell icon, because the people that are in this comment section that are having good conversations and, you know, being mature with one another, not insulting each other, you know, I'd very much like it if you could be on the live streams, man, so we can continue to do this. And the best way to know it is if you do if you hit the bell icon, because that allows you to get the notifications when they happen, because I do them, you know, I don't always do them on a regular, you know, at a scheduled time. Rashawn McClarty, man, thank you for the super chat, my man. Let me know if you got a question. Thank you for supporting, man. You supported before. Much, much, much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. Let me know if you got any questions, man. Crucial YGN, if you call that lateral, okay, that's not me. I'm looking for a Fanon, man, up in here. Oh, Ron Solo 08, man, what's good with you? It's happy, man. Trying to have a positive and fun live stream is what I'm trying to have. Definitely trying to have. Oh, okay, cool. Fanon, okay, that's not me. I see another Fanon. I think I addressed that. I'm gonna go back, man, just to make sure that I caught stuff. And just like you, if you guys didn't see Trey X, if you ask a question that I missed, you can either just put Fanon. Please put Fanon in bold, and then ask the question or tell me to go back and look. You know, and I'll go back and look. The whole point of the live stream is to have a good conversation where we address, you know, whatever points you want to make and want me to read out loud, or questions that you might have with me. The only thing that I would ask is that you don't be disrespectful, man. You know what I mean? Don't say anything to me that you wouldn't want me to say to you. And it ain't. And if you do want people to call you out your name, hey, man, I'm not the one. I'm not the one, man. I got a triggy, man. I used to have real problems, dog. I had never been like that, man. Like cats that grow up playing the dozens and all that. Man, my family, dog, you don't never play the dozens with crazy people. Because you never know. Oh, yeah. Political Act, Trey X, Trap House, pound for pound, LDBC. Yeah, Trap House becoming with it, dog. Trap House becoming with it, man. That was a great conversation you, I, and Blood had as well, Trap House. I think that was on... God, dog, man, forgive me. I'm trying to remember it was not K-Black Boxing or... No, it was Famous Athletics. We did it. Shout out to Famous Athletics. I think we did it on Famous Athletics channel, man. That was a lot of fun. I think he kicked us off his channel at the end, though. Okay, cool. Crucial YGN. Fanon, does John Molina or Hank Lundy power compare to any of the welterweights' power? Damn, man, you hit me with a funny question there, huh? No. Not Hank Lundy. John Molina, no, not from what I can see. Not any super big. No, I mean compare. No, not really. So but we'll see. But the same thing is, man, Terence Crawford, power only can do something if you can really land something. You know, and Terence Crawford might have been willing to take something from them, where he might not be willing to take something from a welterweight, but I think he's got the skills where he might not have to take it. You know, Floyd Mayweather Jr. used to exchange with people a lot, you know, not a lot, but he would let his hands go a lot more freely at 130 pounds and 135 pounds and even 140 pounds than he did when he's at 147. Because you see what happened when he got caught by Shane Mosley. And that's one of the great things about Floyd Mayweather Jr., man, is that he was able to move up in weight class. But as he moved up in weight class, his defensive ability allowed him to do that, because you might hit him once, you're not hitting him twice, right? And if Terence Crawford has the ability to do that, then the fact that the welterweights have more power might not really even come into play, because his boxing ability is like that. You know what I mean? That's my take, man. I'm looking for another Fanon, man. It's been a lot. It's a lot of fun, man, having really good, positive conversations. Blood Boxing, my man. Blood Boxing's in the house. What's happening, man? He said no. Jeff Bloodbox says Jeff Horn has no chance of stealing the show from those guys. Hey man, he's got a little chance, a little something. You know, give him a 5% or something. Give him a 5% shot. Had to ask the question though, man, because we got some people that stranger things have happened. Not much stranger, but some stranger things have happened. Lacey Griffin says Mayweather TBE. Hey, I can respect that if you feel that. Low Place, what's good? Hey, Low Place, what's happening, man? Don't think Foreman would get much credit if he beat the Ali he fought. So Wilder ain't in no new shoes with Ortiz, but he still got to handle work. Yeah, he old, but what you going to do about it? I agree with that, man. I can't argue with anything you said right there. You don't think if Foreman would have beaten Ali, then nah, he probably wouldn't have. But here's the thing, he didn't. You know what I mean? Which is to your point, I believe. So Wilder's not in new shoes with Ortiz, but he still got it. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a difference between Ali and Ortiz, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Ortiz hasn't lost. And Ortiz and Muhammad Ali at that time was thought to be dead meat because he had lost to Frazier and he had lost to Norton. So the thought at the time, according to my dad, was because they weren't watching it live on TV. They heard about it they would hear about it who won it, right? On TV the next day or on the radio the next day, and it wasn't until a week later in the week that they actually saw the fight. So his take on that fight was that they just knew Muhammad Ali was going to get knocked out. It wasn't even a question. They were treating it like, it was like Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson. Like, man, his dude ain't getting out that fight. That was that one. That's not the feeling for Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz because nobody's beating Luis Ortiz, right? Nobody's beating Luis Ortiz. This would be more like, in that era, I would say more of a George Foreman, maybe a George Foreman, Ken Norton, maybe a George Foreman, Ken Norton, something like that. Or maybe a George Foreman, Joe Frazier, something like that. I don't think at that point in time, Ali had already, nobody gave Ali a shot. They thought that was a mismatch. So there was a difference there though. But hey, much respect for that comment, man, and I appreciate what you're talking about. Fanon was Foreman a country boy. He's a country boy. He's a Houston, so he's a Southern boy. I don't necessarily know if he's a country boy though, because I don't know where he is in Houston. The city of Houston, I wouldn't consider people country. But if you get outside of that, then yeah, he could have been. But I think he's a city dude. That's he acts as if he's from the city. So like people from, I don't know, I'm not sure if you are if you're familiar with Texas, but people that live in the city of Dallas, I mean, those aren't country boys. They might be Southern, so somebody from Chicago might think that they're from the country, but they're really not. They're really not country. They're city dudes, real city dudes too. So I'm not sure. It just depends on where. I think he's from Houston. It just depends on where in Houston if he's from the outskirts of Houston or if he's from the inner city. I think he's from the inner city. He carries himself like he's from the inner city. Untold Legacy. I look at Wilder in a similar way. I look at Augustus. People mistake his unorthodox style and rhythm as him being a bad boxer or a joke when that was far from the case. And Augustus is a legend. Yeah, Augustus is one of those things he really is, man. That dude could really go. One and done is what's good, man. Fanon, the question on Crawford versus Spence is void. To ask, no one has seen whether Crawford can translate his success in 147. Yes, fair enough. Is a Southern city boy. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Blood. Yeah, pretty much. He's a Southern city boy, but he's an inner city kid. He's an inner city kid, and trust, inner city kids in the South they're inner city kids. You know what I'm saying? They just as inner city as cats from Chicago, with a little less craziness. I mean, because Chicago's right now is just bananas. Hey, Colonel Dirk Urkel, what's good, my man? You said, what's up, Fanon? It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Welcome back to the channel, man. It's good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. I'm really glad you're able to be here, man. Thank you very much for showing up, man. Hey, Gaultier says Cannon. It's a typo, man. I know he meant Fanon. So, hey, whenever you guys type, don't worry about spell checking. I'll try to figure it out myself, man. Let's keep it in the flow. Adam Smith says, Saul, probably, but I also think it was a big muscle was for marketing purposes. Yeah, it could be, or it could be something else. I don't know. But, hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Dirk Urkel. We'll go to a good cause. Much appreciated. Curtis Anderson, says Foreman is from Marshall, Texas. All right, let me back up and looking for, man, I'm happy. Hey, man, Blood, that was fun last night, man. That was like 2.5 hours and went like my man Sanctus Decor said, that was like 2 hours and went in 15 minutes, man. It was such a pleasure to listen to you, kick that boxing historical wisdom. Oh, by the way, though, Blood, you are kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons of boxing, right? You mentioned the Dungeons and Dragons kid, dog. You're like a Dungeons and Dragons boxing fan, man. Definitely retentive. Political Act says Jeff Horn's offense can throw strikes going forward and he can put it on Crawford. Ortiz can beat Wilder too because he can throw some effective strikes and stun out Wilder's combos. We will see. Personally, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight, man. Matter of fact, all that conversation with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder might be for naught if Luis Ortiz comes with it. But I'm going to tell you ahead of time, people want to ask me what'll happen if he loses. I'm going to be right there talking about he needs to fight. Then Anthony Joshua needs to fight Luis Ortiz. Either way it goes, man. The cat that comes out of this fight on Saturday is a serious hitter in the heavyweight division, and no excuses. No excuses. If Luis Ortiz wins, Luis Ortiz needs those. Luis Ortiz, the other champions need to get in the ring with Luis Ortiz. None of this crap about, Deontay Wilder's a bum and who cares? He just beat Deontay Wilder, so nobody needs to fight him, right? And I can hear that. I suspect that that's going to come. Oh man, Trav, I said Dungeons and Dragons of boxing. Yeah, that's my dude. Blood's my dude though. Fanon, I'm hoping this is one and done. This Fanon, I'm hoping and suspect Wilder is going to get exposed for what he really is in the same way Eubank Jr. got exposed for what he really was. Okay, we'll see. Now, as long as it goes both ways, sub RR1000, as long as it goes both ways, as long as if he gets exposed, if he knocks out Luis Ortiz, spark out, then I hope that exposes him for what he really is. You know what I mean? It can't be for what he really is based on, it can be if you want to do it that way. But I'm saying, look, if he exposes himself, let him expose himself one way or the other. If he knocks out Luis Ortiz, then he's a great fighter because he beat a great fighter or a very, very good fighter. It ain't working like that, man. You can't do that one and done. You can do it, but come on. Now, Ortiz is 48. He ain't 48, dog. But, hey, man, it is what it is. You're going to see it how you see it. I can respect it. You see it how you see it. I see him as an undefeated heavyweight who can throw them hands. Southpaw Cuban with knockout power in both hands. That's what I see. I ain't seen his birth certificate. And as we see, Michael Moore got in the ring with a 44-year-old heavyweight named George Foreman and got put to sleep. Michael Moore got put to sleep by one, Mr. Doc, what's good, Mr. Doc? It says, Fanon, exactly. These guys, both guys' best opponent. How can an honest boxing fan not give the winner a max credit? I don't see how they can't, but, somebody that considers themselves to be an honest boxing fan, I have a suspicion that they will. Because people want to see things to justify. I think that people justify things. They look at things in a way that's going to justify what they think. And when you see something that looks, something out there that is something that shows you something in contrast to what you already believe, your tendency is to find ways to discount that. So if Anthony Joshua knocks out Luis Ortiz, if Deontay Wilder knocks out Luis Ortiz, beats him badly, then, he's going to automatically become old. You know what I mean? If Anthony Joshua beats Carlos Takam, then, after that fight, Carlos Takam became a great fighter, a very, very solid competition who was beating Alexander Povetkin until Alexander Povetkin got lucky and knocked him out. But other than that, Carlos Takam is he's a top heavyweight because Anthony Joshua beat him. But let Carlos Takam get beat by Deontay Wilder by the same people. He would all of a sudden be the same thing as Chris Areola, right? Or Bermain Stavern. The human mind will make things, it can make facts do funny things. Ty Legacy, Fanon, Castillo Clayton from down this way is ranked 9th in the WBO rankings. Cool. All Diego, Fanon, if Wilder wins 60-0, no matter who he beats, haters will not give him credit. Yeah, that's what would make them credit. That would make them haters. It'd be 60 bums. Pretty much everybody in the heavyweight division is a bum. That's how I see it. Yeah, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on with these social media fam. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. From what I can see, that's exactly what it is, man. Sanctus Decor says, only Texas I know is Alexis. Oh! Yeah, man. I never heard of her. Who was that? Oh, man. Sal Gutierrez says, Fanon, I see Ortiz as an old Cuban sandwich. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Honestly, I hope so. I really do. I hope so. I hope he's a soft touch. And I hope it goes just like Bermain Stavern and, for the sake of this argument. Because I want to see that. I'll admit it. I want to see Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight, man. I want to see it. I know I'm not going to see Ortiz versus Anthony Joshua. I know it. Especially if Luis Ortiz knocks out Deontay Wilder or beats Deontay Wilder. Definitely not going to see it. So, I just want to see the best fights, man. I really do. Like, I wasn't always like that. The idea of, God, who was it? There's been some times when there's been some fights I didn't want to see happen. Like, I didn't really want to see Andre Ward fight Sergey Kovalev the first time. Definitely didn't want to see him fight the second time. Because first time I was like, I want to see Gennady. I thought it was unfair that Andre Ward was being forced up, from what I had heard, up a weight division to fight Sergey Kovalev. And I thought he was a smaller guy. I thought he had a good chance to win and he could pull it off. But I was worried about it. So I was like, man, I'd much rather have him fight Gennady Golovkin. Because I think he beat Gennady Golovkin. And I think he stopped Gennady Golovkin. He'd rough him up, beat him up, and stop him. And, but it didn't happen. And wound up happening where he wound up beating Sergey Kovalev. He beat him, knocked him out the second time. And as you see what people do, in a lot of people's minds, somehow, Andre Ward cheated himself to 2 wins over Sergey Kovalev. It was the judge's fault the first time. Second time, it was the referee's fault and the low blows fault. And it was everybody's fault except for Sergey Kovalev's. It's funny how people play these tricks, man. Excuse me. Yeah, Curtis Stevens says HBO forced Ward to fight Kovalev. And they probably still regret it. Because Sergey Kovalev is done. It's just a matter of time before somebody get him next time, man. Cleveland Williams said, it's sad that casual boxing fans won't give Bomb Squad credit, but I will. Wilder has blossomed to a good boxer and will become great. I've seen improvement in him, Cleveland Williams. I've seen improvement in him. And I like him, man. I mean, it is what it is, though, man. People are going to do what they got to do. One and done says, damn, 7,000 subscribers already. Thank you. I'm going to tell you, thank you guys for subscribing. I much appreciate it, man. I much appreciate it. Like right now, from what I can see, there's 71 people in the live chat right now, and there's 70 people in this live stream, and there's no disrespect going on that I can see. Everybody's it's like a grown up boxing live chat, which is what I wanted to do when I started it. Because I used to go to these East Side Boxing and all these people, and it would just be so much drama going on there, man. But we don't have that here, and it's really nice to see, man. Deion Washington says, after non-boxing, did you watch the interview on First Take with Deontay Wilder? I have not. I'm going to go check it out after this live stream. I have not checked it out yet. Adamson says, Fury will maul everybody. I agree, dude. I think Fury is the best heavyweight. Eloy Ebelfin said, you attract intelligent boxing minds. Thank you. I appreciate it. And there's a whole lot of cats on this channel. Whole bunch of people on this channel that know more about boxing than me in many areas, and I appreciate it. It's good to be able to have a conversation with people. And this is why I think some of these, I'm not going to preach on it, but sometimes when you grow up, you realize, man, look, everybody, if you don't know one thing, somebody doesn't know one thing, knows something else. And you don't have to be in a position where you think that you're better, or you have to talk down to or convince somebody that you're the smartest and the most knowledgeable person in the world. Because that just doesn't happen like that. You listen to people making professional trainers get predictions wrong all the time, man. And just because they got a prediction wrong didn't mean they didn't know anything. You know, it just means that they were wrong, right? That instance, they'll be right about something else, man. But the respect that people have for one another, I think, is the most important thing. Because then you can agree, disagree, and it can all be, you can still have fun, man. You don't feel like you want to, you don't feel like you want to walk out the door and slap somebody, you know? But I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate the bell icon cats, because that way you come to the live stream when it pops on. So I appreciate it, man. Yeah, one of this, I predicted the Rigo Loma fight wrong. That's cool. You watched the fight, it was all good. I mean, it is what it is, man. That fight's gone. You know what I mean? I just hope the Rigondeaux got some money under the table, man. Matthew Valentine, one of my favorite subscribers, always keeps me, will always remind me of when I'm when I need to lift my level a little higher, man. Appreciate you, my man. Shout out from Brick City, New Jersey. Shout out from me to you as well, my man. Mr. Dice says, Fanon, I was telling everyone before Ward versus Kovalev rematch that Kovalev had already shown mental weakness and he would quit mentally. He did. Agree. Absolutely. Political Access, Fanon, guys like you, LDBC, Low Place, are inspiring me to start making YouTube videos and talk sports and boxing. Make it hot, man. Make it hot. Need more people in the community, more people in the conversations. Hey, the truth say, Fanon, shout out from Bolton, UK. What's good out there in the UK? The best fight fans in the world. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. As much as I might slap on some of these cats for making ridiculous arguments about Deontay Wilder, hey, still, there's a lot of real good cats out there, man, in the UK with some good boxing sense, good knowledge, and it seems to me, man, a great love for the sport of boxing, man. Shout out to the UK and Bolton specifically. Though I couldn't find Bolton on the map if you stuck a GUN to my head. Fanon, how do you send a request on YouTube? What kind of request do you mean? I'm not sure. How do you send? I don't know how I do that. I got it on an app that allows me to do that. It's a lot. You know what? I can probably send one to you. I think I already did send one to you, Trey. Quite honestly. Grow y'all Israel. Groya Israel. I don't know how to pronounce that. Forgive me. Lomo versus Rigo versus Walter smell like fish money wins. You're right about the WO. Yeah, I think that, hey, it is. Oh, it's Shaw Oberfin. Shout out from London. That's what's up with them UK dudes. Yep. Mr. Doc says, yeah, yep. UK fans are the boxing where Brazilian fans are the heavy metal. Trey X, the same as you did with me. Get the hot mail. Okay. Oh, get hot mail? I can get a hot mail. Oh. You're talking to Trey X. You're not talking to me. Okay, cool. Okay, let me back up, see if I UK baby. Yeah, landscape. Oh, more UK cats. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right, let me back up. Fanon, shout out from Brick City. Brick City. Let me see. Facts, Fanon. Okay, cool. Fanon, who's the harder puncher, Kovalev or Gennady Golovkin? Kovalev. Kovalev. I don't think that you're gonna see Canelo Alvarez take one smash in the face by Kovalev and still be standing. I would say Kovalev is, especially if he gets you on the end of his punches. I have a suspicion that Gennady Golovkin might be a better boxer, though. Not much, though. I think very highly of Canelo's stuff. I mean, of Gennady Golovkin. Oh, but Roger Hunter says, Fanon, isn't it funny how all those people that are screaming low blows on Ward fight never refer back to the beginning of the fight when the ref said everything here is good, Ward hit him there? Of course, man. I mean, no, they're not going to pay attention to it because, they got to find a reason for not being wrong, and you got to work for that. You got to work to find a reason not to be wrong. And I think that's just human. I don't necessarily think that's, I think that's just human. And sometimes you just got to check yourself and think and ask yourself if you're doing that. Am I being like, am I really trying to make this thing seem this way because I want it to be that way? Is your logic working like where you have a conclusion and then you start doing your research and making your argument to support your conclusion? Or are you going through what happened and trying to come to a conclusion based on what you've observed? And I think a lot of times people do it the first way, where you start with a conclusion and you work backwards. Andre Ward is not as good as Kovalev. Now let me do my research to support that. And that leads you to making absolutely ridiculous, oftentimes ridiculous arguments, right? Where you do things like you look up a Google poll on who had the most searches in their name, and you found one thing that Anthony Joshua was that helped you with that argument, and then you form your whole argument around that. Not asking yourself critical questions about that argument. But if you really wanted to figure out what the deal was, you would say, I wonder who's most popular in the United States. Let me look these factors up and then I'll draw a conclusion. You might wind up with the same conclusion that you wanted to come up with, but more than likely it's going to be a lot more, you're going to defend it a lot better because you've actually gone through a disciplined process of drawing that conclusion. There's been times when I've made videos, several times I made videos I never even published because I was like, that's a bull. That is not a good argument, dude. You just wanted that to be true because there's this hole in it, that hole in it, that hole in that hole in it, and I just had to let it go away. That's why and no matter what argument I make about Vasily Lomachenko, I've got to tell the truth. From what I can see, is that dude's a hell of a fighter. There's no way for me to tell you that a guy that's got two Olympic gold medals, has won a championship at 126 pounds and 130 pounds is a bum. I can't tell you that because it's just not there. It's not on paper, right? So then I have to say, well, what is it about it that bothers me? Well, what really bothers me about it is all the hype, right? So is he worth the hype he's getting? And then I can analyze it from there. And then it's going to be really hard to beat that argument. You might be able to, but it's going to be harder to do it because I've actually started with what is out there and drew a conclusion from it versus just having my mind dead set on what argument I want to make and working from there. And that's what I see. I think it's like just it's just a desire to be correct and a desire to make the world fit what your opinion is versus seeing what's out there in the world and drawing a conclusion from it. How else could you justify somebody saying that a guy that's 39-0 with 38 KOs, 6 or 7 title defenses at heavyweight and an Olympic bronze medal is a bum? How can you possibly, if he's a bum, man, everybody in the heavyweight division should be a bum. You know what I mean? Because how many people have accomplished that? Anyway, rant again. Sorry about that, man. Ty Legacy says, Fanon, BoxRec WBO WBO, IBF, IBO rankings for criteria. Tell them to come to court with their documents and kick rocks with the argumentative. Yeah, pretty much. I'm with you on that. Let me see. Back up. Fanon, haters say Wilder hasn't fought nobody, but who was there to fight that they would have given him credit for beating? Nobody. Not even Klitschko. Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. You start with a conclusion and you work backwards. And when you start with a conclusion and work backwards, you know, you come up with ludicrous conclusions. That's just ludicrous to say that this guy hasn't fought. Of course he's fought somebody. He's got 39 guys on his record. Come on, man. Come on. He's got 39 people on his record. Of course he's fought somebody. Somebody in there knew how to fight. But, you know, people make the arguments they want to make, dog. They're going to do what they got to do. As far as this stream, though, because I just got to put it out there, man, because I'm going to be consistent with it. I'm cool with talking with anybody. They can say whatever argument they want to do, but at the end of the day, we say, cool, man. Thanks, I can respect that. Then it's all good, dog. It's all good. I can think you dead wrong. You can think I'm dead wrong. You know, it is what it is, man. But as long as we're respectful of one another and we both agree on this, I want to see the fight happen. Because all the questions can be answered when the fight happens, provided you don't go into making a ton of excuses after the fight happens. You know what I mean? About robberies and, you know, whatever. Brooke Hunter Fanon, you were one of the few people to notice Spence switched to Orthodox for a brief moment and shot a jab to Peterson's face. Does that lead you to believe he has more than he's shown? Absolutely. He said he has more. No doubt he does, because he's only going to do what he needs to do to get people up out of there. Why would you do something different that you don't need to do if there's no need to do it? I say the same thing like Floyd Mayweather against Conor McGregor. Without a doubt, Floyd Mayweather Jr. had more than he showed against Conor McGregor. But why in the world would he waste his time showing it against a guy who he can walk straight to and punch in the face? You know what I'm saying? Why would he even bother with it? He's just going to walk up and beat the dude and he's going to beat him up. And maybe get him in 10 rounds. You know what I mean? That's at least that's the way that I see it. Yeah, Trey said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Easy money. I'm going to walk up and knock you out. Why would I do something else? I tell my son playing basketball, I'm like, man, why are you spinning the ball off the backboard, man? When you could just make a dang layup? Just make the layup. Just make the layup. If you have to do something because somebody's there, then you got to do it. Until then, just make the layup. Just take the shot. Why are you crossing this dude? Why are you crossing me over 6 times, man? Take a step back, take the shot, hit the shot, move on. That's fundamentals, man. But, you know, you waste your time trying to be cute and entertain people. You know, you can get knocked spark out. But, yeah, I think when he saw that when Lamont Peterson had nothing left and couldn't hurt him, yeah, he got a little funny. He switched Orthodox, bopped him a couple times, let it get it in there. You know what I mean? Curtis Stevens, Fanon, have you ever been to Newark? Yeah, I have. I've been to Newark, New Jersey. I've been through. I got a boy from Newark. Absolutely, I've been there. Been in Newark, been to, actually my boy I think he still lives in Newark. And yeah, when I went up to New York, man, I love New York. Love New York, love New Jersey, man. Yeah, I've been definitely been there, man. Let me see, man, anything else? Rigo Broken Hearts and abandoned us, man. He's all right, man. Dude's, you know, he got a fight. He made almost $500,000 over the table, $400,000 over the table, and he got a fight he had to take. He could have went over there and fought for another $125,000 against Moises Flores, and, you know, went that route. But, you know, he went for what he had to go for, man. You know, he took a chance. Groya Israel, Spence is the truth special. The whole division will learn. Only 2 that may go 12 with him are likely Crawford and Garcia. Fair enough. I can go with that. Yeah, Fanon, we country in Dallas, but we city too. Yeah. I mean, you know, but not country. Y'all ain't country. Let me tell you what country is. Country is like St. James, Louisiana. When you turn the lights out and you can't see for miles, like you see all the stars. You know what I'm saying? That there ain't no pollution. You just see this, like this. There's no lights. There's no nothing. You know what I mean? Where you live on a block and the name of the block is the same as your family. That's the country. Yeah, y'all are Southern City boys, man. Dallas cats get kind of city, but yeah, but it's Southern for real, man. Oh, Trap House says Rigo's making a return. Yeah, he'll be back, man, for sure. And I'm looking forward to it too. Record Steel says, Fanon, I got a serious question. What if Ortiz beats Wilder and Parker beats Joshua? Do you think they will go straight to rematches, or will Wilder Joshua happen faster without titles? Oh no, they're gonna go to rematches. You know they both got rematch clause, without a doubt. They got they've been to they're gonna have a rematch clause in those, so the rematches will happen. From what I can see, that's what I bet. I don't think they're gonna gamble with that because neither one of them are mandatories. So they'll have rematch clauses. Ali Dago says, Fanon, you been to San Diego? No, I didn't. No, I have not, but I might be coming there. Oh, Rigo has Mexicans and UK fighters shook. Oh, man, that dude can go, man. But you know, it is what it is. Trag says, country is Garland, Alabama. No neighbors for miles. You have to drive into town to go to the store. We burned our trash. Exactly, dog. That's country. Now, that is country. Y'all in the city. You guys got... Dallas is the city. It's just, compared to Chicago, people in Chicago will think you're country. You're like, yeah, y'all country. Because you're Southern. But you're not country. You know what I mean? You ain't got no chickens in your backyard. And, well, some of y'all might. But it is what it is. All right, man. So I'm about to roll. We got about an hour and 40 minutes on this, man. It's 2:05. I might try to do one later today. Oh, Aldego says, yeah, San Diego is beautiful. Even 78 loves San Diego. Hey, man, only problem with California is crap so dang expensive. But, yeah, my wife might be getting an offer in somewhere in between San Diego and LA, and yeah, well, at least it'd be warm all year. I work remotely, so I'm good wherever, but hey, you say honestly, yeah, right, man. Cali's way too expensive, man. Beautiful, but way too expensive. Love the weather though. I'm tired of being cold, man. Trag says my pops lives in San Diego. It's player. Yes, what's up? All right, y'all. Thanks a lot. I'm about to get out of here. I apologize for my little snap earlier on in the live stream with cats that want to get insulting. I just don't have any patience for that. So, for the next live stream, always enjoy. Hey, thank you. By the way, wanted to shout out, the live stream, the super chats. Thank you very much, Rashawn McClarty and Colonel Dirk Urkel. Much, much appreciated. Also, this Trey X, Ty Legacy, 1-2, all the other cats that regularly tune in. Definitely my man Trap House Boxing. Thank you, Low Place, man. I think this might be the second time I've seen you on the live stream. Ollie Dago 619, Sanctus to Core, Dallas J, R1 1000, Mr. Doc, Grow Y'all Israel, Curtis Anderson. Thank everybody, man. If I missed you guys, of course, Broderick Hunter. Thank you very much for showing up to the live stream. As usual, if I missed anybody, man, shout out to you. Also, hit me up, man. If you're listening in the background, hit the subscribe and the bell icon so what can happen up next time. And, to come to a live stream where you can be treated with respect and you ain't got to hear a bunch of nonsense getting thrown at you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's your boy Fanon, and I'm out. Peace.